But they're good. They're good puppies. So Alexa's going to have her second child in September.
Oh, is she? Well, it's time for Hannah to have a little brother. So.
You know where Dan is? JD.
JD's nobody's really baseball.
Then I hear people say it's nothing, but I haven't read it. Was
I saw him this morning. He was in the office this morning.
JD. Dan.
Well, you know, this actually, the same thing happened to my daughter. The doctor, at that time, ultrasound was not widely used.
I didn't think JD would be here, but that's a baseball game.
And
Mark, do you want to mute your speaker there?
anyway, they got it.
You're not muted yet.
Get off the recording. I hope. Right through. Yeah. record. There's a-
See, I told you it'd be here.
Yeah. Okay. No fines. Okay, 20 seconds. I'll give you a minute.
I'd like to have everybody stand. I'll call this meeting the Culver Board of Zoning Appeals to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular meeting at the Culver Board of Zoning Appeals. Would like to remind everybody that this is being recorded, so if you don't want it to be recorded, then you better not talk. It will be- I will handle roll call since our secretary is not here. Mr. Melston.
Present.
Mr. Osborne. President. Mr. McManaway.
Correct.
Mr. Adams is president, and I'm here, and Mr. Jewett,
President.
our building commissioner. Okay. Next item on the agenda is approval of the March 31st meeting. I would like to entertain a motion.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Now second.
I've moved and properly seconded. We approve the March 31st minutes. Any discussion? Not those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Pass 4-0. Now we move on to the petitions. First petition we have, we're going to skip to the third petition because we have a little problem.
Yes.
And I'll let you discuss that, Mr. Jewett.
Okay, thank you. The petition for the Craig and Virginia Hahn request for developmental standards is going to have to be tabled until next month. We had some start stops and on it, we did not get notification to all of the neighbors.
Yep.
And so because of that, we can't hear it this month.
Okay.
So anybody that's here for the Hahn petition, you're free to leave or stay and see how our government works.
Thank you. Okay.
And apologize for that. It was just, I mean, you were involved, you know what it's like. So that's why we're holding it up.
So we'll see you the 16th of June. It's the next meeting. So now we'll move to petition 2022-008B. And Mr. Easterday, I believe you're going to present that.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for entertaining us this evening. I represent Benjamin Smith and Judith Smith in their petition for a side yard variance. I want to start by saying that when we originally filed the petition, we were asking for a side yard variance and an impervious coverage variance. We are withdrawing tonight the request for the impervious coverage variance. We have done some additional work on the project and believe that we can meet that 50% and will meet that 50%. So basically, the only thing we're asking you for tonight is a thing when what direction you're looking at. West, I think it is, side yard variance of 5.6 inches to the furthest extension of the property. Currently, there is a garage on the property on the other side, which, based upon our looking at it, has a setback of about 6 inches. And maybe, if we're lucky, and we're proposing to take that down. And the only variance then we would be requesting would be on the other side. That 5.6 is the furthest extension to the actual building sidewall. Would be approximately 6 feet or a little more than 6 feet, which is better than what's there now. And entertain questions, I guess, so we don't get a little of the meeting.
Mr. Easterday, what are the present setbacks? Do you know?
Yes, you mean as far as what is the building now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's basically 6 feet to the sidewall, but then there's the overhang, so it's probably less than 5.5 feet.
Is there a drawing of that someplace here?
I think I have an existing in here. I have a proposed, and then I have an existing.
There's these 2 pages.
Show that it's 6 feet.
That's the sidewalk. See on the existing, you can see the other building that's, like I say, either on the property line or very, very close to the property line, and that will come down.
And that's one of those lots, part of it's in town and part of it's in township.
That's
correct?
exactly correct, yes. Our hardship on this is the fact that we've got to get behind the building in order to get into the garage. Well, it doesn't make sense to put the garage on the front side, on the lake side. And in order to get that around the structure and make the turn to get into the garage, we're holding over on that side rather than trying to center it on the lot.
So it's the setback is basically what it is now.
Yes,
Well, isn't it a little bit less?
I don't think so, because
Well, see, because these are backwards and I'm having to turn it to look at it.
Is it 5'6" to the wall?
right,
It looks like it's 5'6" on the proposed and 6'3" existing. Is that correct?
to the wall, but the overhang on the existing is wider than what we're going to go on the new.
So you're thinking it's less than 5 foot currently?
Yeah.
So instead of the 6'3", you think it's less than 5 foot,
Right.
to the overhang.
To the overhang.
Just
Yeah.
making sure that was everybody understood.
That lot stays the same distance all the way back. That's
Yeah.
questions? Mr. Melton, you have any questions for Mr. Easterday? Absolutely. Sure. No. Probably affects you more than anybody since it's right next door.
So I have no problem with it,
Okay. And that's good to know.
and I think that other neighbor has no problem. He actually sold them the property and back to be able to do this, so.
You say you are pretty close to the 50%
Yes,
impervious.
I think we'll be real close. Now, that does not include the lakeside lot, because we're looking at this as its own separate lot. Whether it is or not, I don't want to get into that. But basically, we can meet the 50% on this side.
And if you included the lakeside, it'd be way.
Oh, yeah, we'd be
Way
like 30%.
Right.
If you include the lakeside.
And I like the approach that you've taken on that because that's what we really want to see is
Right.
where the house is, not some piece that's 100 feet away or whatever. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, you guys get tired of me doing my legal mumbo jumbo down in that area.
A few of those.
Yeah.
Did you have any questions?
No.
Does anybody have any comments or questions from the audience? Anybody online have any comments or questions?
No.
Okay. We ready to move to finding of facts? Did I get the minutes back? Sorry.
If I could, Mr. President, before we go into the findings. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I think that they've done a good job getting off the property line with that garage. They're not impeding any closer than what they already are on that west side. If they said they wanted to come in and build on the same footprint, the house would be exactly where it's at. So it would be my recommendation, and being able to work with their architect on the impervious, that go ahead and.
I forgot to ask you if you had any comments or questions. Could you get us some more copies? I only have 4 here, so we need.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Chuck, before you go? I know with the meeting with Ty Abbey the other day, as far as the case number on these,
Yeah.
do we need to have both case numbers as far as
Not for us.
not for us?
No.
So you have to take care of. Correct.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
He has to take care of that, not
I
us.
think I have both case numbers on.
Both case numbers are on it, but
Yeah.
that's reason.
I've been, what I've been doing, and I'll do it until you tell me not to, I file it with the county, then I bring it down and personally file it with your organization, and then go from there.
And give us a check.
And give us a check, that's right. Because I asked about that, and they said, no, don't pay the county, pay the clerk, so I've been doing that.
Just this one.
Just the regular one. Don't get funded the others. It's one. vehicles. Good news.
Not just another pretty patient. Lucky for me, right?
I didn't see. Is everybody ready for finding facts? Remember, if you vote no on any of these, the questions, then you have to vote no on the variance. Based upon the evidence submitted, I find that number one, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Mr. Meshland,
Yes.
Mr. Osborne,
Yes.
Mr. Manaway,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Number two, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property, including the variance, will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner. Mr. Melson,
Yes.
Mr. Osborne,
Yes.
Mr. McManaway,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Number three, the strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Mr. Melson,
Yes.
Mr. Osborne,
Yes.
Mr. McManaway,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. I would entertain a motion that we approve this variance.
I'll entertain a motion to
Okay.
approve variance.
It's been moved and properly second that we approve this variance. Any further discussion? How do you vote on the variance, Mr. Michelin?
Yes.
Mr. Osborne?
Yes.
Mr. McManaway?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Pass 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who is your architect on that?
Thank you.
His name is Mike somebody. I'll get it to you from Mark.
Mark Peters.
Mark Peters.
Okay, all right, he's online, so.
Yeah.
So he knows that we'll get a hold of each other, Mark, and talk about the impervious and how we can make that work, okay? Okay, thank you. So you don't have to tell him.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the second petition tonight is again presented by Mr. Easterday.
Good evening. This is up on College Avenue. And basically what they're attempting to do is to get off the street in terms of parking, put a garage behind, put an addition behind. We have the same situation. We have a very narrow lot, but amazingly enough, it looks to me like the present structure either encroaches upon Mrs. Kelly or it's very close to encroaching upon Mrs. Kelly. And we originally looked at it in terms of trying to come from that structure. And I'll be blunt, I basically told them, no, I think you should back up and move off that property line some so that we are decreasing the non-conformity. And so the architect has relooked it and we have the ability to do this with a 2-foot side yard setback instead of the 0 or encroaching side yard setback by extending the other one. It would be a situation where we would add the garage and living quarters on the back. It would all be built in, so it would all be one structure. And again, we will maintain less than a 50% coverage in terms of the impervious situation. Looks like, based on the latest, we're at about 47.8% impervious on this lot. As you can see, the entrance basically is going to be off of Lewis Street rather than College Avenue, so they have the ability to park in the back.
So they're gonna tear down, the current structure is gonna be torn down.
No, not at all. No,
Not at all.
No,
It's
Just
just
the accessory building.
just the accessory
Oh,
building. There is an
okay, I'm sorry.
accessory building on the back, which again, we think probably encroaches upon Mrs. Kelly, but that would be torn down, yes.
What is that a sidewalk coming out of the present house?
No, it's going to be part of the house. It's basically what I call a breezeway, but it's a walkway that's going to be fully enclosed.
That you're gonna have a sitting room and mudroom
Right,
up toward college.
correct.
So the need for the breezeway is because there's no connection between the north side of the present house and the south side of the new construction.
That's correct. Because of the configuration of the present house, we practically have to tear it down to get out the back to make any kind of connection.
So that's going to be a gap in there?
Yes, it is.
Covered by roof.
Just here, not here.
So the area where the grill is shown is open.
Yes, that's correct.
All the air inside here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I got you.
But they do, they're common.
Courthouse, he looks to the grill.
There you go.
There's going to be a grill, an outdoor grill between them?
Yes.
This is all single story.
I think it is, yes. Is the architect on?
No. See the same architect? or-
No,
It says 1-story addition at the bottom, right?
yeah, I'm pretty sure, I'm just sure.
Yeah, no, it has, nobody's on one.
Okay,
Yes.
So the present house is an 8-foot,
whole lot is a building.
it's set back from the east side of the property line. This is 8 foot now.
the present house is this and this.
That 8-foot section is already.
This is part of the house
It's
here.
already there, yes. It's already there and it encroaches, I think.
But the breezeway that goes back,
Oh, I see
is
that.
that being added?
Yes.
Being added, but they're taking it
But we're
2
moving back
feet, 6 inches
To the
to the west.
to the west.
off of the property.
Off the property line.
So it was existing, but you're moving. Is that what you're telling me?
You know, like, so you look at the current one, that 8-foot section looks like an addition that's been added at some point. It's
Yeah, I
already
couldn't
there.
tell by the picture there.
Well, it's actually,
If you look at the front, you can see that you can see the structure along the property line. And it's being moved 2 feet.
That structure's staying, correct, though?
That is
Just the
correct.
additional breezeway will
The
be 2
addition
feet, 6 inches
will be
west.
back in 2 feet, yes. And then you can see from the aerial, the back building would be removed.
This is what that looks like. It's the main house, that's that 8-foot section. Yeah,
I have to see that.
it's already there.
I think the addition can't be put onto the existing. That can't be put onto that. is what they're saying. They don't want to do it.
So we're actually putting a roof over the roof over that, but it's gonna be open, but the roof will not.
No, it's not.
They'll say closed,
The
enclosed.
hallway is enclosed, but that gap between the two main buildings will be open. That little
Right,
area,
but this
This is open here. No, this is not.
This is all
This is
attached.
completely wall covered.
But it's gonna be attached,
Yes.
so that the 8 foot becomes attached to that.
The only way it's attached to the existing is through that structure,
Yeah.
through the breezeway.
Right.
I don't know where that came from. Mrs. Kelly told me no, but I don't know where that came from.
Do you have any idea why it's 8 foot when it comes off of the present house? And then goes to 4 feet at the breezeway? What's gonna go in that room?
It's just basically it's a hallway. It's to get out, to make your turns and stuff for your handicap.
But you're needing a handicap.
Yes.
Well, you know, we have a, on property line for, what is that, maybe 15 feet? Maybe longer than that, but now all of a sudden it's half the property. Is that almost on the property line there? That's what's bothering me a lot.
Down on the west side.
Didn't know the east
East
side.
side.
all the
East
time.
side, I mean.
The breezeway.
Where the
Because this is
We're
not
talking
about
about the breezeway.
this is the present.
I think you
Present,
need to say it's a hallway rather than a breezeway.
Yeah, we're calling it breezeway, but yeah,
It's
it's
a hallway.
enclosed, it's a hallway.
Well, it says breezeway on the.
Right.
And I mean, once they enclose it, it's also a breezeway.
Architects are good at drawing. You're going to ask me my opinion, Mr. President.
Yeah, I will. Mr. Meshland, do you have any questions?
no, I mean, nothing outside of your neighbor comments. Yes.
Mr. Osborne?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I want to hear what the neighbor had to say. I just, it just seems odd to me that you couldn't attach it to the existing home. That's what and have a grill in the middle of it. Seems kind of odd to me, but I guess that's what they're looking after. I've never seen anything like this before.
I would hate to have a grill halfway between parts of the house, actually, but that's. Mr. Manaway, you have any questions?
Well, I'm just concerned that you're extending that. It's already an 8 foot, but it's within 2.6 right now.
No, it's actually right on the line at that one part. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Present structure, either on line or encroaching.
yeah.
Okay. But you're moving it over, which is great, but then with the hallway you're coming, you're encroaching that line for X amount of feet now.
Well, they're not moving it over. It's gonna stay the same.
The hallway is,
The only thing, they're
Already
adding
there.
a hallway, but this is encroaching. It's not gonna change at all.
no, I'm just saying, but they're encroaching from here to here instead of just.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And that's my.
Yeah. And they are taking off the accessory building that's right on the line, but
Right, I mean, plus the minus, negative.
now, did you have any other questions? I'm sorry.
No other question, no, I'm good on it.
Mr. DeWitt?
It's like, no, my issue.
I was very excited when I first looked at this from the standpoint that we're getting rid of that accessory structure, that garage, and dumping it. We're cleaning up the front to an extent, but when I see that the two buildings are not attached in a conventional way, and I'll say conventional because I think this is non-conventional, attaching around two structures from the outside. When I see that, I think there's other options, and therefore we could cut down. We've got 49 feet here, 49.5 feet of nonconformity with that hallway. And we didn't only had 13 feet roughly before that nonconformity. So we've increased the nonconformity, the 2 foot 6 there, the 2 foot, not even enough room to get, well, I'm gonna have trouble getting through there and keeping a boat. You know, you're not gonna be able to maintain that side of the house on your own property. You know, we've talked about this before. That's the disappointing part to me. I think keeping the existing house is great. I just hate to see everything being torn down and started over. But it would seem to me that you could compress that together, get rid of that hallway on the side and be closer and not as non-conforming.
I guess I have two questions. Do you know the hardship on the north side of the house that would make it difficult to build onto?
To the north side, south side,
North side. To the north side.
The north side.
north side of the existing house?
Yeah.
No.
And then are these,
Picture of distance.
North side, what he's talking about is right here.
Oh, you're talking about north side of this existing?
Yes, the existing.
Okay.
No, the roof slopes conventional, like you normally see.
are these, the addition rooms, are they attached? Like, does the hallway need to go the 49 feet? Or can it go to that first structure and then they enter the other room out through the structure?
Yeah, because there's a door right there.
But it also looks like there's
There's
steps. there.
steps. Yeah, how does that?
Is that because there's a slope to the lot? I mean,
No, I think it's an architect's preference,
okay.
what he thought would look better. I think if you compress the new construction with the old, like you're talking about, bring it together, tie your roofs together, you could then bring this hallway right into side of the existing house or the new construction and come into either that kitchen area or the general living area.
So I think our point is, we think there's another way than what's here.
Exactly.
It's not our choice to make what they do with it.
Sure.
It's just,
I
if
was
we think
wondering-
it's going to be another way, then we can say, no, we're not going to
I was
approve
just wondering if there was something physically about the structure that.
Sorry. it. Exactly, I understand.
I hate it when we increase nonconformity.
I do too.
That's all I've got. Thank you.
And if it was a few inches maybe, but not several feet.
Right, and if you use that first access and eliminated the rest of it, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, you're talking about adding another 20 feet as opposed to 50.
Well, I'm saying that the hardship would be a simpler way to attach that thing, go all the way back down.
Well, it looks like there's probably already a door on
Looks
the
like-
north side, the northeast side. Maybe not, I
Well, I don't
don't know.
know if that's,
There's a door there.
basement access or
Oh,
like
maybe.
all space access.
Is that exposed stairs? Or is
Don't
that,
know.
Mr. Easterday, you know?
I do not. Can I say something? I don't know.
Oh, that's a basic window well on the other picture.
Here's pictometry. You can see this is the side we're looking at.
You can't see anything. I went by there today too. I couldn't see it. Right.
Yeah.
I can't get them. Not get her able.
How do you get from the deck into the house? Is it in this? But right now, there's.
So this is that side there. This is the one that goes right.
Okay.
into the lot, Right.
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 Coming back, I think, yeah.
Oh, there's that 10 foot is the deck.
Yes, yeah.
It looks like it's right on the line.
I think it's an open line, to be honest with you.
Well, actually, it's about 18
Yes.
inches from the line.
Yeah, it may be, whatever it is, it's tight. It's tight.
You measured.
Yes.
Okay.
I just have never seen it. It's almost like you're building to another house. Yes, and connecting it with the walk.
Okay, I'll open this up to the public. Any questions?
Yeah,
Yes, Mrs. Kelly. Introduce yourself on the
I'm Marilyn Kelly,
note for the recording
We got
and you give your address.
310 College Avenue. I'm the one that they're wanting to encroach on.
Okay.
And on here, this 10-foot looks like it's right on the line. Down here at the bottom. So if they're gonna build there, that means they're gonna have to be trampling back and forth on my yard.
Definitely.
And that was the point I was trying to make. They can't maintain their own structure from their property
You're right.
without trespassing and encroaching on you.
And right now, the deck is like 18 inches from the property line. And you're right, I did measure.
Other questions or comments from the audience? Michelle.
I'm Michelle Jancy. I live at 304 College on the west side of this property. And from looking at the picture, it appears that the new structure is 2 to 3 times bigger than the original structure.
It looks like the whole lot is structure.
And as I recall, isn't there a certain amount of square footage that you're?
50%. What we've got right here, this is from the architect and engineer, and what he's saying is that it'll be 47.8%
Goes up to there.
impervious. So
Yeah,
that's under the
Governor
50%.
Newbury's County.
And every other house on the block is like 20%.
Yeah, or
That's why they get
30%.
attached.
Probably.
So that's what he says. He's got 7.8%.
But thank you for mentioning that. They were carrying the stand.
I don't understand hardship.
Right, why we build it on the other side, you're right.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Chancy, did you?
Well, I just think it's an enormously big construction project for comparison with the other houses on our block. I know a lot of people don't care about that, but
But we residents do.
We do want to hear your concerns.
Any comments or questions from anybody online?
No.
Any other comments or questions here?
The coverage is 47.8%, so you're 52 point something percent impervious or pervious,
Correct. No, pervious, yes. I have trouble between the two.
so you're 52.
Below the 50%.
All right.
Is that new structure 2-story?
That would be 1 to 2. Okay.
That width in them, or is it added to that?
Was this the top
We add in a pathway.
2978 and 1313? This is the proposed, but this is already there. So why would you add this?
As it comes out, something like this.
Okay, so, okay.
Impervious.
Okay, so because the building is that, I got you. Okay. It comes out, they're tearing down the back shed, that's what comes out of there, that's why I didn't quite understand.
Yes.
Okay, we're ready to move to finding of facts.
I would propose, if I'm hearing the gentleman correct me if I'm wrong, but I would propose we table it until the next meeting and we'll take a look at it.
Yeah, but I think you're right.
I think it's a
going
good
to pass.
Mr.
There's
Easterday.
no point wasting your time.
Thank you.
You'll let me know as soon as possible if you want to be on the next agenda.
I would like to be on the next agenda. Yes.
Okay, we will table this until the next meeting.
Hunter's here.
I'm sure Mr. Easterday will express our concerns.
I will.
And, right. Those are the only petitions we have on this evening. Do we have any old business, Mr.?
No, I don't believe so.
New business.
Just want to give you kind of a heads up and an update of what's going on. We've got some properties that are deeming unsafe, some that we're pursuing for destruction, some for cleanup. We've got a meeting next week. I got a meeting Tuesday morning, and then also there's one on Tuesday evening before town council meeting, 24th. So want to come to that, hear what's going on. Jim Nasarisi is working with us on pursuing those and handling those to court. Then if you were at the planning commission meeting on Tuesday, there's some discussion about line of sight on new builds. There's some other things that we're looking at making some changes from the planning commission. So we will have the public hearing next week or next month at the planning commission meeting. Yes,
Say, so, 21st, I think it was.
no, it's the 21st.
That's town council meeting.
Anything else you need to report to us?
I think that's it.
Okay.
We're busy. Things are busy around the lake. I mean, just drive around, look at things. The academy's got 4 commercial projects going over there right now. With the new stadium, dormitories,
About to start 5th.
yeah. So they're,
The leadership building is finished.
Almost.
yeah. They have, still have a temporary certificate of occupancy. We haven't given them complete yet because they haven't told us that it's done for us to do the inspection.
And the one barracks is done, or is it still not quite finished yet
It's
either?
supposed to be theoretically done in June.
There's not been a sign off on it for occupancy yet. Giving the academy enough time to use their leverage with the builder to get that stuff done so that they can get certificate and their final pay. So.
Now, are they have any plans that are almost firm for the other things in? I know they got a big,
So
big grant.
theoretically, as soon as the Lords and Barrack is done and summer camp can occupy that, then they will start tearing down main barracks and working on them. But it'll take a couple months to remediate and pull everything out of there that they can salvage.
And they're gonna take it down.
What's the building behind the bleachers as far as it's?
So that's the new football stadium.
That's the press box and
Okay.
there'll be concessions underneath or whatever it is.
There's a couple halftime rooms, but I don't think they've plumbed out there like for showers or anything.
I'm curious, they're not working by the hour on that, are they? Because it's taking forever.
I see 4 guys working and 8 guys sitting in the
But
trucks.
that's a record, got that plumb.
I think that it's roughed in, but I don't
Oh,
know.
that,
I'm sure think they build. I know, wouldn't it make sense?
What I
What
think
makes it-
sense
that's-
is what I think makes sense. In a different world.
And just so you also know that they've got 58 houses across their campus that are, that belong to the academy that they're working on remodeling and updating also.
Across the campus?
They're-
Across the town.
academy.
Well,
Some of it's
They're not-
toward the town,
Within the zoning.
yes,
some of them are in the town, some of them
right.
are on the academy.
On the academy side property, some are in the town, but they've got 58 rental or I say rental properties, but they're
Faculty. yeah.
faculty,
Faculty.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're in the process, and when I'm talking about updating, they're not looking at, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 update. They're talking about bringing it up to today's standards
Wow.
on each one, so they
Wow.
can be, that could be several million by the time that's done.
Well, I know the one right there, Easterday Academy, they've done months of work on, and still forgetting.
The one that had the fire.
No,
No.
there's one, they're like, I guess they're shoring up the basement, and they've got the roof on, they're fixing the chimney, so it's.
They,
Aren't they doing, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say it seems like they've been longer on it because they've got so many projects going on, and
Not enough.
their interior labor force is limited.
Oh, yeah.
Less.
The projects, as far as the two of the girls going for something upcoming or?
Those are, to my knowledge, pushed off.
Okay.
The only thing they're waiting on is final signature on the donations. And the way to get that is to make sure that it satisfies their donor.
Okay, anything else? Next scheduled meeting is Thursday, June 16th. And if there's nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
People, thank you, everybody for coming.
Was way over.
See how they.
Sweet.
50% of that